Hi, Jeremy.
Hi.
Welcome back. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
So here you're here for your second acupressure session, and today we're going to be focusing on the points in your hands. So is there anything specific you want to work on today?
So I've had a bad head cold the last couple weeks.
Okay. So you've
Noticed
been having
that.
some pressure and pain in your sinuses.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any fever or body aches?
Not really, no.
Okay, so mostly anything with your throat or lungs?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit in your chest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other specific issues or general issues you want to address today?
I've just been feeling generally a little under the weather, probably just from the cold and rain, everything. But
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Being winter and this time of year, especially with the lack of sun and fresh air, it can be a little bit stifling to our bodies. So we're going to go ahead and work on your hands, get some of your blood moving, get some of the waste that's settled in parts of your body moving out so we can get the body moving freely and use those points to trigger some of these healing processes, okay? So I'm going to have you go ahead and start with your right hand. So please lay it out for me. Perfect. And I'm just going to spread your palm out here. Do you mind if I roll this up a little? Just want full access. And I'm going to start with that sinus pressure because you said that was the most pressing thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the sinuses are located on the ends of the fingers, and then there's also another point here on the pointer and the middle finger on the right hand that can result in some improvement on cold. So I'm going to start with your sinuses. So I'm gently going to press the top of each finger. Might be a little bit uncomfortable, and you may start to feel some movement in your sinuses as well. I'm going to use a tool to get this small one. Let me know if anything's too intense, okay? And the goal is to hold them long enough to activate the connection in the body, but not so long or intense that you cause any injury or pain. I'm just going to touch the trigger points for the cold. And how this works is the parts of your hands are supposedly connected to different parts of your body, and it runs along the nerves and the veins and everything running through you in a cyclical circular motion. Is that okay, that pressure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to let that settle. I'm going to take a look at the rest of your hand. Just get a feel for what else we might want to address. I'm going to do a little bit of work on the side here where your organs are. We have right here the appendix. And just below that, the gallbladder. And these two things are important for recycling the waste that your body produces when you get sick and your white blood cells activate and clear those viruses out of your system. So we want to make sure that those are strong and healthy. You might start to feel a little bit of tingling sensation in different parts of your hand and your body. I'm going to move over to your cranial nerves part here. And those nerves are generally in the upper portion of your head and your neck and your face. And so those can be triggered with a head cold. And make sure they're nice and strong. Have you noticed any sensation loss in your face, any inability to, any pain or pressure on the sinuses itself, or lagging of the eyes or anything during the cold?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, okay. So we'll shore up those cranial nerve muscles, facial muscles. Next, I'm going to move down to your thyroid and pituitary. This is a big portion right here. Let me know if anything's too intense, okay? I'll give that a little bit of a break. Moving back towards the fingers, now that they've had a chance to recover, and we're pressing on both your eye points here. And you can get a lot of pressure under your eyes with a head cold. There are sinuses that run out underneath your eyes. So if you get a headache across your forehead, under your eyes, that's partially why. Buildup of pressure. It's important to move out that buildup through the lymphatic system here. I'm actually just going to use some of these cooling sticks as well on those points. Should feel really good in your eye region. Can help with tired eyes as well. The next two fingers are the ears. Did you ever notice any muffled hearing, any itchiness or aches in your ears?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you prone to ear infections as a child at all?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, good. So we'll just do a little bit of pressure on those points. These cooling gels. This applies the pressure while also adding the added benefit of the cooling. And then while we're on the ear, I'll move to the ear nerves, which is going to be right here on this finger. And since we've done a lot of work on the sinuses, I'm just going to go ahead and press this point right here. This is your lymphatic glands. And the lymphatic is what is going to help drain through everything. Okay. The last thing I want to do on this hand is just do some treatment on the lungs. The lungs is found right between the middle and fourth finger, just below, in between right here. Because you said you were having some chest issues there, so I want to address that. You may feel some heat building here. Relax. Go ahead and just gently set this hand back and let it recover. And I'll take your left hand now. And the left and the right hands are somewhat symmetrical, but there are some differences, so we like to do them separately to assess it separately. I do want to do those sinuses on this side as well. And it's the same spot at the top of each finger, the very top. And you may notice some movement in your face. Are you feeling anything going on there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me know if you need a moment. At times, acupressure can feel like it makes things a little worse before better, just because the body is going to start reacting. But reactions are not always a bad thing, even though it may feel negative. How did you feel after your last session?
Felt good.
Just going to do a couple of holds here. On this side, you've got the stomach right here. The stomach in the winter time, we can oftentimes be eating a little bit more over the holidays, or just wanting that hearty meal and not giving our stomach a chance to fully empty out and get rid of the waste that it doesn't need. So make sure you're giving yourself a chance to recover. But I know how tempting holiday cookies can be. That stomach's just feeling a little hot. Do a little work on the head and the blood vessels here. And that's located on the left side, right here in the middle of the thumb, just above the bottom joint. And just above that is the pituitary gland. And just get that spot really specifically there. And I just use my tool to get specific centralized pressure in a spot that my hands are too large or clumsy to get. While I'm here, I'm just going to move up a little bit to the brain. And the brain is just below the sinuses, not quite on the tip of the thumb, but just below that. I know for a lot of my clients, they'll get brain fog in the wintertime. It's sort of that darkness, maybe a little bit low vitamin D, not really thinking quite regularly. So this point can be very relieving for them. While I have my tool out, I'm going to target this small point between the thumb and the first finger. There's a bit of a fold, and that is the throat. And this should help with some of your cold recovery. Throat can get very irritated with coughing and nasal drip, so it's an important point to touch on if you've had a head cold. And apply the cold pressure to that as well. How are you feeling physically? Are you having any muscle aches and pains?
A little bit in my shoulder.
Your shoulder? Okay. So the shoulder point is going to be right on the outside here. And the shoulder and the heart are very closely linked. Sometimes I like to press them at the same time. And there's a nerve that runs through there. If you ever hear that, and people who are having heart problems or heart pains may feel it in the back of their shoulder on the left side. It's pretty common pain radiation spot because those are connected with the nerve. So we like to do a little dual work on those. Is that too intense?
No.
Okay, good. I'm just going to go ahead and relax your hand. I want to assess for anything else that's jumping out at me. Just a little bit of tightness here in the hip and the knee. That can often happen in the winter with cold. Have you ever had a knee injury?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Does it ever flare up in the winter with cold at all?
Not really.
Okay, that's good. You're still young, so that's helpful. But you may find that that's something that might bother you in the future. Okay. Go ahead and lay both hands out for me. Just going to do a little dual work on the neck here. And the lymphatic system as well. Go back towards that because I don't feel like that's totally clear. Many of your lymph nodes are actually located in your neck region, behind your ears, down your neck. There's some under your armpits as well. So those are linked points. Hey Jeremy, shake your hands out for me, move them a little bit. How are they feeling?
You feel good?
Good, okay. Just gonna shake them out a little. Feel for any last tense points. Because acupressure is all about linking to other parts in the body, it's not necessarily feeling where your hands are tense, but that it can be an indicator that there's a problem in the other part of the body as well. Okay, it feels alright. So I'll go ahead and roll your sleeves back down for you. I'm going to just make some movements. Everything feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, great. So I suggest you go home and drink at least 2 big glasses of water.
Mm-hmm.
Help flush everything through your system. You may feel some discomfort later. If you feel any serious discomfort, give our office a call the next 48 hours. But in theory, you should start to feel better in a couple of days.
Sounds great.
Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.